The knock on the door was soft at first, almost timid, as if she hoped I'd open it without really thinking. But I knew better. I sat in the dark living room, my hands clenched so tightly together my knuckles burned. The clock on the wall read 2:37 a.m. My wife was outside, swaying on the porch after spending the night with another man. And I wasn't opening that door. The beginning of the crack. It hadn't always been this way. Claire and I had been married 8 years. We met in college, built a life together from almost nothing. She had been my anchor, my laughter, my best friend. For a long time, I never doubted her loyalty, never questioned her late nights at the office or the sudden girls' trips she claimed helped her unwind. But then, little details started unraveling the fabric of my trust. Her phone, once left casually on the counter, was now glued to her hand. Messages would pop up at night, and she'd tilt the screen away from me. "Just Sarah," she'd say with a smile that looked painted on. She had new clothes, new perfume, new energy that wasn't spent on me. When I touched her, she felt like a stranger. I wanted to believe I was paranoid. But one Saturday night, the truth came crashing in. The night everything shifted. Claire had told me she was going to a friend's birthday party. Just a casual night, she said, nothing big. I asked if I could come. She hesitated, then forced a laugh. "It's all girls, babe. You'd be bored to death." I kissed her goodbye, but something about the way she adjusted her lipstick in the mirror as she rushed out the door made my stomach twist. Hours passed. Midnight came and went. Then at 1:14 a.m. my phone buzzed. A friend of mine, Mark, had been out downtown and sent me a blurry photo. "Isn't this Claire?" It was her. Not at some girls-only party, but in a crowded bar. And she wasn't with Sarah or any of her friends. She was laughing, leaning into a man I'd never seen before. His hand resting casually on her lower back. My chest went hollow. I stared at that photo until my vision blurred. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the phone. The air in the house felt poisonous, heavy. I couldn't sit there and pretend anymore. So I locked the front door. Her return. The knocking grew louder. Then her voice followed, sharp and slurred. "James. Baby, open up. It's freezing out here." I didn't move. My heart thundered in my ears. She rattled the handle, realizing it was locked. Her tone shifted from playful to impatient. "James. Seriously. It's late. Let me in." I pictured her standing there in her short dress, makeup smudged, hair reeking of smoke and alcohol, and him. The faceless man in the photo who had been touching her like she was his. I stood, my knees weak, and walked to the door. I pressed my forehead against it, closing my eyes. "Who was he, Claire?" I asked through the wood. My voice cracked despite how hard I tried to keep it steady. There was silence. Then a nervous laugh. "What are you talking about? You weren't at a girl's party. You were with him." Another silence, heavier this time. She wasn't quick enough with her lie, and that silence was all I needed. The call that broke everything. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Pulled it out. Claire was calling me from the porch, her voice desperate through the line. "James, please let me explain." "It's not what you think." I answered, my throat tight. "Then tell me what it is." On the other end, I heard her breathing fast, almost panicked. "He's just a friend. We went out for drinks. I didn't want to upset you, so I—" "You lied." My words came out like a hammer. "You lied to my face. Because you get jealous," she snapped, the alcohol loosening her tongue. "Because every time I breathe near another man you act like I'm betraying you. I just wanted one night of fun, James. One night without your eyes on me." Her words cut deeper than any blade. "One night of fun." I whispered. "Do you even hear yourself?" There was silence again, except for the faint sound of her sniffling. Then she whispered, almost too quietly to catch. "I don't know if I love you the way I used to." A collapse. My knees buckled, and I slid down the wall inside, clutching the phone to my ear like it was the only thing tethering me to the world. My breath came in sharp, broken gasps. 8 years, Claire. 8 years I've given you everything. And this is what you say to me. She was crying now, her voice raw. I don't know what's wrong with me. I didn't mean to hurt you, I just feel empty. I thought maybe being out with someone else would make me feel alive again. It was the worst possible confession. Not just betrayal but choice. I could hear her fists pounding against the door. Her sobs echoing through the wood. James, please. Please open the door. Sorry. I don't want to lose you. But her words meant nothing now. Because somewhere deep inside, I realized I already had lost her. The aftermath. I didn't open the door that night. I sat there until her sobbing faded into silence, until I heard her car start and drive away. My chest felt like it had caved in, but there was also a strange calm underneath it all, like I had finally seen the truth I'd been avoiding for months. The next morning she came back sober, eyes swollen from crying. She tried to explain, tried to backtrack, tried to tell me it hadn't gone too far. But trust doesn't break clean. It shatters into 1,000 sharp pieces, and every word out of her mouth just cut me deeper. I can change, she begged. We can fix this. Don't throw everything away. I looked at her, really looked at her, and all I saw was the stranger she had become. I didn't throw anything away, Claire, I said quietly. You did. The ending. In the weeks that followed, the unraveling was swift. Divorce papers, cold silences, nights where I stared at the empty side of the bed and wondered how someone who once swore forever could burn it all down for a fleeting thrill. Sometimes I still hear that knock on the door in my dreams, still hear her voice begging to be let in. And sometimes, in the weakest moments, I almost wish I had opened it. But then I remember her words, the ones that still echo in my chest. I don't know if I love you the way I used to. And I know I made the right choice. Because no man deserves to love a woman who has already chosen to love someone else.